Tale Friday. I'm so glad you're here with us today. In this edition of Aladdin, we're going to be headed off to Asia. I'm so excited. I love fairy tales. Prince, princesses, magic. Welcome to Fairy Tale Friday. Aladdin and the Magic Lamp. Once upon a time, there lived a boy named Aladdin who preferred playing games and wasting time to going to school and helping his parents. His father, a poor, hard-working tailor, worried constantly about his carefree son. "Mark my words, woman," he kept saying to his wife, "this son of ours will end up merely a lazy good-for-nothing." Even when the poor tailor died and his grieving widow needed all the help she could get, Aladdin did not change his thoughtless ways. "Your father was right. You'll end up a lazy good-for-nothing," his mother admitted, even though she loved her son dearly. One day, when Aladdin had skipped out of school early and was wasting time as usual with his friends, a curious stranger dressed in flowing robes and turban approached them. "Are you Aladdin, the son of the tailor?" asked the stranger, who was really a powerful magician. "Yes, sir," replied Aladdin, "but my father is dead." "Alas, my poor brother," cried the magician, pretending to be grief-stricken. "I have come from distant Africa just to see him again, and now I have come too late. Take me to your mother, my nephew. Perhaps I can help her." When the magician met Aladdin's mother, he again pretended to weep bitter tears of sorrow. "I've waited 30 years to see my brother," he wept, "and now he's dead." "It's strange how little you resemble my poor husband," Aladdin's mother remarked through her own real tears. "The hot sun of Africa changes a man's appearance," lied the magician. Then he promised his sister-in-law to make her fatherless son a rich and successful man. "To be rich and successful, you have to work hard, don't you?" complained Aladdin. "I'd rather play and stay poor." But his mother scolded him soundly, and in a short time she ordered her son to go with his uncle and not come back until he was rich and successful. Aladdin left unwillingly, but his false uncle did not send him to school as he had said. Instead, they started on a long journey. After many weeks, they came to the foot of a high mountain and camped for the night. "Go and gather wood for the fire," the magician ordered. "Then I'll show you something wonderful." "Toys or sweets?" cried Aladdin eagerly. "Don't you ever think of anything but playing and enjoying yourself?" shouted the magician. "I have something much better than toys or candies to show you." When the fire was burning brightly, the magician stood before it and recited a strange magic spell. "Aladdin," he said when he finished chanting the spell, "I am not your uncle. I am a rich and powerful magician. Watch." Aladdin watched in astonishment as the magician stretched out his hand. Instantly, the fire flared brightly and then vanished. In its place was a huge boulder with an iron ring stuck in it. "This boulder hides the mouth of a cave full of treasure," he said. "If you go down into the cave, all this treasure will be yours." "Why do you want to give me such splendid gifts?" asked Aladdin suspiciously. "Because I want just one little favor from you in return," answering the magician. "You must bring me only the old lamp hanging in the cave. It is written in my book of magic, 'The boy Aladdin shall find the lamp.' I can't imagine why it is written thus, but the book is never wrong." Aladdin was scared, but when the magician gave him an enchanted ring to wear for protection, he agreed to go down into the cave. The magician seized the iron ring and pulled the boulder away from the mouth of the cave. Aladdin tiptoed down the steep steps, and immediately he saw the old brass lamp. He found no treasure chests, but the cave was full of strange trees bearing millions of little colored stones that danced and glittered in the dim light. Aladdin did not realize that this was an enchanted garden where, instead of apples and oranges, the trees bore diamonds, rubies, pearls, and emeralds. He had never seen a jewel, and so had no idea what riches lay before him. But since he thought the colored stones were very pretty, he filled his pockets and planned to take them as gifts for his mother. Then he picked up the lamp the magician had asked for and started climbing the stairs again. The magician was waiting impatiently at the top. "Hurry up, you worthless boy," he cried, eager to get his hands on the magic lamp. "I'm coming as fast as I can," called Aladdin, "but these steps are steep and slippery. Help me up." "First, pass me the lamp," said the magician. "Then I'll help you." "No," cried Aladdin, who did not trust the magician at all. "First, help me out of here, and then I'll give you the lamp." They argued for several minutes until the magician flew into a rage. "This can't be the right boy. That worthless book must have been wrong," he said angrily to himself. Then he shouted to Aladdin, "You can stay down there forever." As he spoke, he pushed the boulder back into the mouth of the cave. Aladdin was trapped inside, screaming in terror and begging forgiveness. Finally, he collapsed on the cold, damp steps. As Aladdin lay sobbing and rubbing his eyes, there was a blinding flash of light, and suddenly, a tremendous figure stood before him. "I am the genie of the ring, master," said the huge creature. "I am your slave. When you wiped your eyes, you rubbed the ring and thus summoned me. I will do whatever you command." "Oh, please, kind genie," sobbed Aladdin. "Take me home to my mother." Another light flashed, and the next minute Aladdin found himself back in his own house, kneeling at his mother's feet and promising to mend his ways and be a good and helpful son. His mother welcomed him and gladly pardoned him. When Aladdin gave her the colored stones, she gasped because she knew they were priceless jewels. But she thought the old lamp was ugly and dirty and immediately began polishing it. Another light flashed, and suddenly another, even more gigantic genie appeared. "I am the genie of the lamp," he cried. "I must obey all your commands instantly. Shall I move mountains for you, dry up oceans, or build marble castles?" Aladdin and his mother were speechless for several moments. "If it's not too much trouble, great genie," Aladdin finally managed to ask neatly, "could we have a bite to eat?" "You're so easily satisfied," said the genie, sounding almost disappointed. He vanished instantly, and within seconds, baked chickens, delicious fruits, sparkling wine, and an entire roasted ox were served to Aladdin and his mother on a magnificent table set with silverware, crystal goblets, and golden dishes. From that day on, the genie provided a life of luxury for Aladdin, who shared his good fortune generously with his mother and all his friends. One day, many years later, when Aladdin had become a famous and successful man, the Sultan's heralds came shouting through the streets of the town. "Hear ye," they called, "the daughter of our exalted Sultan is coming this way. Let each man cover his eyes, for none may look upon the beautiful princess." Everyone obeyed the Sultan's command, except Aladdin, who peeked through his window when the princess passed and instantly fell in love with her. His mother feared the Sultan would be angered by his disobedience and ambition, but Aladdin was determined to make the lovely princess his wife. Aladdin begged his mother to go to the palace and ask for the hand of the princess in marriage, but first he ordered the genie to prepare a suitable lavish gift for the Sultan. "What shall it be, my master? Shall I dry up the China Sea to please him? Shall I turn the Yellow River into liquid gold? Or shall I fetch him the moon?" cried the genie eagerly. "No, no, no," said Aladdin. "A simple bowl of precious stones would be quite enough." "Oh," cried the genie, once again disappointed. "That's all? Will you never command me to do something truly important?" Aladdin's mother stretched out her arms as the genie vanished. In a minute, she was holding a large bowl filled to overflowing with diamonds, pearls, rubies, emeralds, and sapphires, all covered with golden lace. She took this immediately to the Sultan and knelt at his feet. "Many thanks, good woman," said the Sultan as she offered him the priceless gift. "What have you brought me? Some nightingale's eggs, fried grasshoppers, or bird's nest soup?" But when he removed the lace cover, he was so dazzled by the magnificent jewels that he immediately agreed to give his daughter's hand in marriage to the generous Aladdin. On the day of his wedding, Aladdin again summoned the genie. "Make me a palace almost as beautiful as the Sultan's and nearly as large," he commanded. "Thank you, my master. At last you have given me a task worthy of my powers," cried the genie before he vanished. Within a few seconds, a beautiful palace rose up right next to the Sultan's. There, Aladdin and his bride would live happily after their splendid wedding. Shortly after their marriage, while Aladdin was away from the palace, the old magician came by carrying a shiny new brass lamp. For many years, he had tried to steal back his old magic lamp, but Aladdin and his mother always guarded it closely. The princess did not know the old lamp's value, and so the magician was able to trick her. "New lamps for old," he cried. "Give me your old lamps and take a beautiful new one in exchange." Wishing to surprise her husband with a beautiful new lamp, the princess willingly gave away Aladdin's old one to the clever magician. The magician carried the lamp from her, rubbed it quickly, and instantly the genie appeared. "Take us all to deepest Africa and be quick about it," the magician commanded. The poor genie had to obey the new master of the lamp. When Aladdin returned that night, his lamp, his palace, and his princess were all gone. He knew immediately what must have happened, and so he summoned the genie of the ring. "Find me my princess and my palace and my magic lamp," Aladdin commanded. Instantly, he found himself sitting in his palace with his beloved wife in deepest Africa. The genie prepared a magic sleeping drink, and when the magician drank it that night, he fell into a deep slumber. Then, while he slept, Aladdin was able to steal the magic lamp and summon its genie. "What is your command, sire?" cried the genie, delighted to see his true and generous master again. "First, send this evil magician to the endless desert from which there is no escape," Aladdin commanded. "And then, please take us all home again." "Gladly," cried the genie. In an instant, the palace was back in its place in Asia, and Aladdin and his bride found themselves strolling pleasantly in their own orchid garden. After that, the genie's magic powers kept them all in happiness and luxury. The end. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed this version of Aladdin. Wonder where we'll go next week. Only time will tell.